Hello and welcome to another edition of English Summer with me, Swaroop Swaminathan. I have, as always, Firoz and Gomesh. We just witnessed the end of a thrilling first test between India and England in Headingley. England chased down the target of 371 after the hosts put the visitors into bat. Visitors twice had extremely strong positions in the first innings. I think they were like at 420 for three. In the second innings, they were like more than 250 for three. I think they managed to lose the test after being in such a dominant position. I'll bring in Gomesh now. Is it just a case of saying that they have had two batting collapses and that is why they lost the test, or is there more nuance to why they lost the test?
Definitely, there is more to it. Obviously, batting collapses is not new to Indian cricket. It's something we have been seeing, especially away from home, for better part of a decade now. But more than anything else is the fact that they're not able to take 20 wickets, which is essential, especially when you're batting first. That is what cost them the game, and obviously the drop catches really doesn't help. And it's something again we have seen in the past as well, where on crucial occasions, especially in England, one drop catch has seen the complexion of the series. But here, by and large, I think India wanted that batting depth and the bowling to take 20 wickets, went with Shardul, but perhaps did not use them to the best of his abilities, where he is more effective, which meant again workload for other bowlers. Apart from Bumrah and Prasid, there's 3 or 4 tests of experience, doesn't really help. Siraj is still hot and cold. Sometimes it's not really clicking in, which ended up with the way it did. And Jadeja again not as effective until the last session of day 5. So that's probably the roundabout of why India went down despite scoring 5 centuries.
First, come to you now. Obviously, Gomesh touched upon Prasid and Siraj and Thakur, but you're going to be having trouble defending whatever total you put up or whatever target you're asking the opponents to chase when most of your bowlers go at over 4 and over without picking up wickets. And is that, I mean, it's something that we have seen in the last 2, 3, 4 years that Indian bowlers do not know how to bowl dry.
Means it will be too harsh to say that, but yeah, of course, means defending 371 in more than 1.5 day, almost 1.5 day. It was always going to be difficult. They need to have a bowler who can contain runs, as what Ishan Sharma did in the past. So they need a bowler who could have contained the run, bowl the right length and line, but in this bowling attack, I don't think there was anyone, as Gomesh touched upon that subject of Prashit Krishna giving away more than 6 runs per over. I think that was a very big difference between Indian bowling and England bowling. Although they too conceded, the England bowlers conceded 5 centuries in 2 innings, but they were not as leaky as Prasidh Krishna. And if you talk about Siraj, even he was going for more than 4 runs per hour. And as Gomesh said, Ravindra Jadeja was effective only in the last hour of play. By then, so everything has been done and dusted. So obviously, you need a bowler who can contain run. Even if that bowler is not taking wickets, the pressure he builds can be used by other bowlers. The bowlers like Bumrah who could have taken wicket if the runs flow could have contained. So obviously, India is missing a bowler who can control run flow and who can also help other bowlers to bowl at his best.
Moving away, I mean, sticking with the Indian bowlers, when in 2016, when Ben Duckett, I think, played middle order for England, Duckett had an Indian problem. Is it fair to say in 25, India has a Duckett problem?
It is fair to say, and Duckett is not the player he was more than a decade ago. We saw what he could do even during the home away series in India last year. He was really good, and England came close.
And, I mean, just on that same train of thought, 18 months ago, against a variety of Indian spinners, we saw Duckett reverse sweeping and sweeping all of them, including Ravindra Jadeja. 18 months later, he is still doing the same thing, and the Indian management have not able to come up with a suitable response. Is that also like a problem?
It is a problem also because One of the bowlers who troubled him, a couple of them who troubled him, especially in the later half of that series, is Kuldeep and Ashwin. Ashwin has retired and Kuldeep is warming the bench. Someone who Shastri said in Jan 2019 that he is your frontline overseas spinner, and he's still struggling to find a place in the 11 as your frontline spinner, and that is something India would have to address, because there are very few spinners who can do what Kuldeep does, especially in red ball cricket. And with the number of left-handers in the team, it's a no-brainer to start Kuldeep irrespective of conditions, especially if you want him to do what Ashwin and Jadeja do going forward. Jadeja is 35, make no mistake, he's not going to be around for long. Who is your frontline spinner who's going to take wickets? But coming back to Duckett, he as something you have talked about extensively. Like, very rarely does he leave the ball. He's constantly shown the intent to meet the ball up front and take on bowlers. And I think he is one of the few who has benefited extremely under McCallum, because of it's imbibed into drilled into them that they are the best and they are doing everyone a favor by playing the way they do. And Duckett perhaps truly believes that, which is what gives him the confidence to play the way he does, and it has worked really well for England.
Moving on, from Duckett, Shubhman Gill before the test had said that he would continue India's test team ethos of trying to take 20 wickets to win tests, saying that, are you surprised that A, they didn't pick Kuldeep Yadav, and B, going forward, just because of all the batting collapses, would there now be even greater emphasis on packing their lower order with more batters rather than just going in with 6 batters and playing and finding a spot for Kuldeep in that side?
See, just by saying that they want to take 20 wickets, it cannot
They're
be
not
done.
going to.
Yeah, they need to have bowlers who can claim 20 wickets. And given the strategy they have adopted in the first is, I don't think they will be able to take 20 wickets if they have bowlers of such skills in their ranks. I'm not saying something against the bowlers like Shardul Thakur or Prasidh Krishna, but it was the choice of the team management. They should have taken the conditions in mind before picking up the playing 11. And it was always clear that England is witnessing the driest spring, and Headingley was the center for it. They should have gone with Kuldeep Yadav, because Ravin Jadeja was getting good purchase in the last
Shoaib
position.
Bashir was
Yeah.
turning it in the third
Yeah.
innings.
And Shoaib Bashir bowled more than 20 overs in both the innings for England, and that has given a sigh of relief for their pacers, who were rejuvenated when they came back for the attack. But that was not the case with Bumrah. Bumrah was very, you can say, he didn't come to bowl when
last
England,
session.
in the last session. So you need to have a bowler who can turn the ball, who can exploit the conditions. And Kuldeep was aptly.
And it's fair to say that most international sides still do not know how to pick Kuldeep.
Yeah, true. Had he been there in the Indian side, the last 1 hour could have made a huge difference. Although it will be very it would not be good to say that England won't have been able to chase the target, but they won't be able to chase the target that easily had they had Kuldeep, bowler like Kuldeep in their ranks. So obviously, and then the second question you asked, what their approach will be in the next test, it will be interesting to see.
In Australia, even with after taking the collapses, they refused to play 5 bowlers. I mean, 5 frontline bowlers capable of taking 20 wickets. They decided to pack their batting order
On a
further.
green surface
Yeah.
such as Sydney, Gautam Gambhir fielded Washington Sundar, Ravindra Jadeja and Nitish Kumar Reddy, because their top order is not performing. And just to build on what Firoz has just said, yes, Gambhir has defended saying this is a young bowling attack, it needs experience and all. And I think it's true to a large extent, because if this social media and everything that's there in this day and age, if this had existed in 2013 and 14 when India toured South Africa, England and Australia in the same year.
I think Ben Stokes has said this many times, experience is overrated. I mean, we have seen Natarajan, Washington Sundar and Shardul Thakur winning a game at the Gabba.
They had the cushion of totals with them. The bowlers could have easily defended there. In the first inning, they scored for 470, more than 450. In the second inning, the target was 371, which is not easy given the condition of pitch and the 4 day and weather and everything. Have the only thing they were lacking is one skilled bowler who could have made difference. So obviously, you can do whatever you want to extend your tail, but you cannot. Means you don't sacrifice your specialist bowler for that. You need to have one bowler because in case of seamers, means it is always means there is a chance of them getting injured, having niggle or something like that. If you have bowlers like Siraj, Bumrah in your ranks, then you need to have proper cover for bowling attack as well. Here they don't have anything. Even if we talk about Shardul Thakur was underutilized. He bowled only 6 overs, 6 or 7 overs in the first innings. In the second innings, he could bowl only 10 or 11 overs. Then what is the use of having him in the team if you cannot bowl him
And
for more than
he
15
wasn't
overs?
brought in until the 68th
Until
over.
the 68th over. First he bowled 3 over spell, then he was rested, then he was brought in again after. Means they need
Honestly,
to have a clear strategy actually.
I wouldn't be surprised if, say, they bring in someone like Nitish Reddy for Karun and Kuldeep for Shardul Thakur for the next match, especially if Bumrah plays.
And I could see that means there were demands of leaving out Karun Nair from the playing 11. I don't know why. He hasn't done anything wrong. They only collapses happen, and that has been the case with Indian team as Gomesh said for the past one or more decade. But yeah, you cannot sacrifice a specialist batsman for an all-rounder. If you want to have a like for like replacement, you have many options there. But go select your playing 11 on the basis of the pitch conditions and everything. And you are there. You are better to judge what's going on there and what result do you need.
Just on the last thing to wrap this show, I mean, to both of you, you're defending 371. This is probably one of 3 tests that Bumrah will likely to play. So I would see this as an opportunity missed to take the 1-0 lead. Is that how both of you see it?
Obviously, especially after the way the first 3.5 days went.
India dominated for the last match of this test match and still
until say the third session of day 4. But yeah, it is something that will come back to bite them really hard going into the series, especially when they decide not to play Bumrah.
100%. Bumrah was there. You had taken lead in the first inning, although it was just a 6-run lead, but it was a moral victory for Indian team. Then you had a target of 371.
I see what you did.
Set up target of 371. Bumrah was still there. You could have won. You should have won that test because after 2 tests, Bumrah will not be there. Then who will spearhead the pace attack? There you need this cushion of 1-0 would have worked wonders for India in the second test as well. Had they managed to win this test, this would have helped them at least to draw this series. If Bumrah is not there, but yeah, it's an opportunity loss for India now.
Interesting. We will be back here to preview the second test, which begins at Edgbaston next Wednesday. So probably we'll have like a preview video on Monday or Tuesday. Thanks for watching. Stay safe. Bye bye.